The following is a World-Class Bullshitters exclusive.
It's been a rough year for Buzz Lightyear, but I have good news. It's about to get even rougher for that film that nobody wanted. When we last talked about Lightyear, we talked about what a failure it was, how it couldn't make money at the box office, even though it's a Disney film. Now, there were a lot of reasons as to why people thought Lightyear could fail. People thought it was because of the woke agenda. People thought it was because of the lesbian kiss. People thought it was because Disney is evil. But I thought it was because it was a stupid-ass movie that nobody cared about because it's Buzz Lightyear in name only, when the real actor, Tim Allen, isn't even involved. It's the prime example of a film that doesn't need to exist. For every time we want to talk about the Disney Star Wars films not needing to exist, remember Lightyear, because it is a film nobody wanted and nobody saw. And guess what? People still aren't watching it as it moves over to Disney+. Call me an asshole, but I love this story. It's really just schadenfreude more than anything else. I mean, why wouldn't I love it when the whole world takes a giant dump on whatever Disney wants to produce? I mean, they took a dump on Star Wars, they took a dump on us, they take a dump on the fans every single day with their bullshit. So anytime a mega corporation can feel the heat themselves, I'm happy. People have been saying it for years, Disney films just aren't as good as they used to. Well, I grew up, but I can definitely tell you they don't make them like they used to. Now, even though the well has been poisoned, there's still competition for these bad films. Just because it says Disney on it doesn't mean everyone's gonna watch it. And it looks like people aren't watching Lightyear, even though it's free with their Disney Plus subscription. New viewership data just confirmed that Lightyear, Disney Plus's debut, failed to draw the same massive audience as Encanto. The data comes via press release circulated by audience analytics company Samba TV. Toy Story franchise prequel, Lightyear, debuted on Disney Plus with 1.7 million households viewing the Pixar flick in its first 5 days. The movie landed a strong opening weekend on the streaming after spending several weeks in theaters, but fell short of Disney's last animated cinema streaming service, Encanto, which saw over 1 million additional households watching during the same window. Lightyear's relatively underwhelming performance on Disney Plus follows the animated sci-fi action adventure's ongoing lackluster critical and commercial response during its original theatrical run. Lightyear earned just over $50 million across its opening weekend, well short of industry analysts' predictions between $70 and $85 million. The Disney Pixar film also received mixed reviews from critics, with several Lightyear reviews objecting to the movie's plot and pacing. Star Chris Evans' performance as Buzz Lightyear was nevertheless well received, as well as the quality and production of the animation and design. The decision to recast the Buzz role proved controversial in the lead-up to the Lightyear release, with director Angus MacLane I didn't realize that was somebody's real name. Angus MacLane insisting that the I envision this guy looks just like Groundskeeper Willie with a muscle shirt and no shoes on. Mr. MacLane insists that the original voice actor Tim Allen wasn't a good fit for the spin-off. The tone of Lightyear is a lot different than that of Toy Story, he said. Tim is hilarious, but his character wouldn't work as well with him doing the Space Ranger voice. It would not be as emotional. It just changes the tone of the movie. We were going for a more classic sci-fi film, producer Galen Sussman added, and that having Allen return as Buzz Lightyear would have added a confusion surrounding Lightyear's place within the wider Pixar canon. Is that really what it would have done? I mean, Tim Allen is a popular guy. I like him. He's my favorite TV dad, but he's not popular with a certain part of the population because of, well, his views. Didn't one of his shows get canceled because people didn't like it was more right-leaning, but then it got picked up by another network, so Tim Allen is a draw. He is the voice of the state of Michigan. Allen eventually offered his own take on the situation, emphasizing that Lightyear is largely unconnected to Toy Story and its direct sequels. He further clarified that a different creative team was behind the spin-off and admitted that when he first heard about the project, he assumed it would be a live-action feature. Allen also said that in his mind, Buzz isn't really Buzz unless he's partnered with his cowboy doll, Woody. There's really no Toy Story Buzz without Woody, Allen said. Lightyear just doesn't seem to have the connection to the toys. So everybody wants to rage out about why Lightyear failed, but we have a pretty good picture of why it failed. Nobody wanted this film, nobody making the film really knew what it was, and the only person that could have figured it out wasn't hired back for many different reasons. That person being Tim Allen. A great justice in the universe was just undone. The cosmic scales have been righted with Lightyear failing because you don't need this movie. Nobody needs this movie, and even less people want this movie. So it makes me wonder, what does Disney have planned? Because they have these IPs, they think they can milk them indefinitely, and now that Lightyear shows that they can't and won't, what's Disney's next plan? It's like every IP they touch turns to shit these days. They're exactly the opposite of King Midas. He has the golden touch, they have the brown eye touch. Oh, Disney's making Star Wars? Disney's making Indiana Jones? Disney's making Lightyear? Folks, if it's recognizable and it has the Disney logo on it, expect a big pile of with a side of and that's from Disney. You know, I went to college, I have a degree, but my job is to go into a microphone on the internet. I think I'm winning. Unlike Lightyear fans who are losing, and again, I am a Buzz Lightyear fan. I hate the Disney movies, I hate the Disney properties, I hate all this shit. I'm never disingenuous with the audience, but I got a special spot for Buzz Lightyear in my heart. He's my favorite Toy Story character, he's my favorite Disney character. So if you couldn't get a guy like me to go see this movie on Buzz Lightyear, well then no one was gonna go see it. Tim Allen's right, he's just a toy, and he doesn't work without Woody. Think of what Buzz Lightyear, or who Buzz Lightyear is. I know it's a toy, so we can say what it is, but let's talk about him like he's a real guy. Buzz Lightyear is a spaceman. He's Andy's toy. He's a Space Ranger toy that Andy gets on his birthday, and the real drama of Toy Story is about Cowboy Woody being replaced by Spaceman Buzz. Interesting premise. Then in Toy Story 2, you have Woody get shelved and basically taken away by Al of Al's Toy Barn, and you have Buzz and the team going to get Woody. And then the third one, which I didn't like as much, we've never really spent too much time outside of a couple lines here and there really wondering about Buzz Lightyear besides him being the toy. I mean, hell, when we see a different Buzz Lightyear in the film, it's like, all right, it's just another inanimate toy. We didn't think about the person it's based off or the greater picture or this and that. The only thing I can remember off the top of my head is not a flying toy in that damn commercial. So Buzz Lightyear failed because they didn't know what they were doing. None of this other political shit helped it, and so therefore it hurt it. So I hope Disney realizes that trying to put in blanket identity politics or things to appeal to a certain type of audience just because doesn't really help. Lightyear is the prime example that putting all your crap in a movie, but then not really putting it in the movie, it hurts it. The thing is, from what I've read online, it's a blink and you miss it kiss between the two women. Personally, I don't have any issues with women kissing. It's fine. Be happy. That's all I give a shit about. And subscribe to this channel, and join our Patreon page, and check out our t-shirts, and read my comic books. I write them, I draw them, and they get pretty good reviews. Check them out. Disney was hoping that patting themselves on the back was going to get them extra brownie points, extra money at the theaters, but no, it's all about quality and interest. You can't take a movie about kid stuff and then expect it to appeal to the wide gay audience. It's like if you're watching a football game and all of a sudden Paula Deen comes walking in on the field, they clear the field and it becomes a down-home cooking show with Paula Deen. People are going to be pissed off and confused. But if you announced that Paula Deen was going to be at the Bengals opener coming up and how she was going to be a huge part of the game, people weren't going to show up. You don't go to a football game to see Paula Deen, and you don't go to a Lightyear film to hear an allegory about lesbian relationships. It's a kids movie. It doesn't mean kids can't be exposed to the realities of the world, but it's kind of weird. It's like putting polka in a documentary about heavy metal. It just doesn't work. No matter what you want to say about Metallica and how lame it was with what they did in Napster, I don't think Metallica and polka go together. Metallica has never been that cool, and neither has Lightyear. And so, folks, I want to know what you think about Lightyear failing to entice audiences on Disney+. I have free access to Disney+. I turned on Lightyear for about 3 minutes just to see what it looked like, and it didn't look that interesting. It does look like a boring sci-fi film with Captain America, who's so generic as a voice actor. I like Chris Evans. I think he's a solid actor as Captain America, and fine in his other roles. But there's really nothing special about Buzz Lightyear outside of it being Tim Allen. It's special because it's a toy voiced by Tim Allen with a delusional complex. He thinks that he's a real person and not a toy. And now you got people trying to develop the movie version based on the toy from the comic, from the thing that you saw last year with that guy who was in that other movie with Alec Baldwin and the guy from Young Guns, like all that shit. Disney wants you to not only watch this movie, but then consume shit 24/7 around it. They forget that you have a life, you have responsibilities, and you have other shit that you like. If you're a Marvel fan, you're lucky. You can watch shit constantly, 24/7, TV shows, movies, read comics, play toys, play video games, all that crap. But you also need a break. And that's what I need. So folks, I'm going to get out of here. Let me know what you think about Lightyear failing. Did you watch Lightyear? Here are the 3 questions for today. 1. Did you watch Lightyear? 2. Are you going to watch Lightyear? 3. Did you enjoy that Lightyear is struggling? I know I did, and I can't be the only one. Thanks for watching today's video. Yes, it's over, but don't cry because there's more, a lot more from World Class Bullshitters. And there's only one way to get it. Hit that subscribe button below. When you do that, you'll get notifications and updates from World Class Bullshitters every time we go live. Basically, you won't miss anything. And if there's one thing I hate, it's FOMO. But the thing most people hate more than FOMO is fear of missing out on World Class Bullshitters, because there's just some things you can't undo. So folks, do yourselves a favor and never miss anything from World Class Bullshitters. One last thing before you go, hit the thumbs up button. Not for our egos, no, they're big enough as this, but it does help us fight the algorithm here, and well, it's man versus machine, and that's the real fight. But if that's not your battle, That's okay. There's one last way you can help WCBS, and that's going over to shopwcbs.com, picking up a t-shirt, a beer glass, a sweatshirt, a poster, all sorts of ways to back WCBS. The difference between us and other YouTube channels is I'm the artist that makes all this stuff, so if you enjoy art, beyond t-shirts, you can even read our comic books. We got it all! We're called the epitome of pop culture for a reason, and no, again, it's not for our egos. So folks, make sure you're involved with every aspect of World Class Bullshitters, not just for us, but do it for yourself. We're making the change in entertainment everybody out there wants to see. And a special thank you goes out to all of our wonderful patrons who make this content possible. Go to patreon.com/worldclassbs to get involved and help out the channel.